Hello and welcome. This is my card I'm going to be making for my Fun Fold Friday this week. And I had actually made this card during a Facebook Live last Thursday night. And I made a mistake when I was putting this closure on here. This is traditionally called a buckle card. So you've got a slot in here, and then when you close the card, you just slip the buckle into, or the belt into the buckle part of the card. But I made a mistake and forgot to glue this to this inside panel. So I actually had glued this inside, and then I had to attach this to the back. Not very professional looking in my opinion, so I decided to redo this card for you today. I'm changing up the colors though, and I'm using this absolutely fabulous ice cream corner DSP and the stamp set with the coordinating punch. Now I need to tell you that in the brand new 2021 annual catalog, which will be released on May the 4th, this is going to be still available, but the paper is not. So the paper is absolutely delectable. So if you like ice cream or popsicles and you want to celebrate some fun birthdays over the summer using this, then I would suggest you hop on and you get some of this paper, because it's absolutely stunning. And you can actually cut out some of these ice cream cones and popsicles right from the paper if you want. And then these designs here are actually designed so that you can punch out the ice cream itself, and you could stamp on the popsicle and then cut it out. Aren't these just delicious? They look like sherbets to me. So I'm going to make this card and show you how to put this buckle card together. So I already have my cardstock and all of my pieces cut out. So as I said earlier, I am changing up my colors, and I will be building an ice cream. I am actually making this card for a Mother's Day card. Sadly, I don't have my mother with me at all, but I use this opportunity to just celebrate other mothers out there, and grandmothers even. So what I want to show you as well is that I actually punched out Mom with a set of dies that are still available for purchase. These are called the Playful Alphabet dies. These are fantastic. If you do any scrapbooking particularly, you will love these dies. They're small little letters, and there's numbers in here as well. Just so cool to have. It's kind of like a basic set to have in your stash. We've had other alphabet dies in the past. I still have my bigger ones that I've had for a number of years, and I will still pull them out from time to time for special birthdays when I need some large numbers. Okay, so these are called Playful Alphabet dies. Okay, so let me show you all the pieces. There will be a blog post with all of the cardstock and scoring measurements on there, as well as measurements for the DSP. So this is the piece for my actual buckle mechanism. Then this is the card base, and we need to score this and trim off a little bit on the side. Okay, so I'm going to pull in my trimmer. All right, so what we want to do is I've got some of my directions to my side here. I'm going to score this at 5.5 here because it's 11 inches long. So 5.5. And we're going to score this. And this makes a standard landscape card here. But we want to cut a little bit off the front. So we're going to cut off 1.25 inches from the front. So I'm going to go to 1.25 inches on the right hand side of my cutting track. And I'm just going to cut that off. Okay, and this actually becomes scrap. You won't need that for this card. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing, I should have kept this out, because the next thing you want to do is you're going to put a 1/2 inch score mark on this belt. I'm going to call it a belt. 1/2 inch. We're just going to score that. And we're going to be folding that over, and this is going to go underneath the inside panel of the card. So this is how the card's going to be put together. This is our lovely bumblebee color. It's a beautiful yellow. And then I'm using Old Olive as a card layer, cardstock layer on the front. And then I cut out these delicious ice cream cones. And that's going to layer on the top. Okay, so I can start putting this together now. So I will use my Tombow glue here. And I will just put a fine line of glue around the outside edge, like so. If you have a difficult time lining up your designer series papers and your cardstocks, then I highly recommend you keep using the Tombow glue because it gives you a chance to kind of wiggle things into place. Okay, and then we're going to, now what we want to do first off is we're going to punch a hole. So the punch that I'm using here, now this is retiring. I'm not sure if there's any more available. You might want to hop onto my online store and go into the clearance and see, or last chance products section, and see if this is still available. But this is a fantastic punch, Classic Label it's called, and I use it for when I'm making gift card holders because it's perfect for inserting a gift card. You just make it a little bit longer. So I'm just going to sort of eyeball it and center it. I'm putting my cardstock as far down as possible in here, and I'm going to punch this out. Okay, now if you were making a gift card, you would just simply slide it over in either direction and punch out a little bit more to make that slot a little bit wider to fit your gift card. But we don't need it any wider than it is. Okay. Now, yes, we do need a hole on this, but if I were to glue these two pieces on top of my card base, this would be way too thick for the punch. So I like to do it in stages. So now what I can do, I've already punched this hole, and I'm going to show you how this is going to work. Let's put some more Tombow glue on here. And I will show you that once we've glued this on, we're going to use the existing hole to line up the punch. Okay, so let's put this on here and get that nicely lined up as well. There we go. Okay, now when you glue this piece down, beware not to put glue all over it. Otherwise, the glue will come through here and then it'll stick to your card. So you only want to glue around the outside edges. Okay. So now you can see the existing slot here. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put this back in. It'll go as far as it will, and you're just going to line it up as best you can exactly where you punched the other hole, and then you're going to punch again. Okay, see, that was already tight because that was 2 layers that it went through. So could you imagine going through 3 layers? That would be more difficult. Okay, so now you've got your hole. Perfect. All right, so the next step is, this is where I made my mistake the last time. So I just want to move my little mom aside. And I'm going to be pulling in a brand new stamp set that is going to be available come May 4th in the new catalog, but there's a cute little greeting on there that I want to use. All right, this is what I'm going to build my ice cream scoop on, because I might want to, instead of putting a thank you here, I'm going to put an ice cream scoop with mom on here. So what I'm going to do is take my punch, which is here, and I'm going to line my paper up over here on the right side, and I'm going to punch an ice cream. Now you just want to find a good place to get the ice cream to get a good coloring of ice cream. Actually, I think I might do it right here. No, I think I'm going to do it over here. So it'll be a mixture of the two pinks and some vanilla is what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm going to punch that, and there's my little ice cream scoop on the top. Now, in the stamp set, there is, you can build the ice cream, but I want to let you know that on the DSP, there's a DSP that kind of has that waffle cone sort of design on it. So you could just punch using the punch and just punch it out of the paper to make the ice cream cone. But I want to show you how you can actually stamp it. And there's two parts to that. Let me just show you. There is the cone itself. And then there is a design for the cone. Okay, so let me just grab a couple of blocks. So we'll do the cone, and then we'll do this etching. Okay, so for my cone, and I'm going to grab a piece of scrap Whisper White. Here we go. I'm keeping this because this might be, I might be using this, I'm not sure. But let's grab this, and I'm going to do one of those, it's not really a waffle cone, sugar cone I think it's called. So I'm going to pull out crumb cake, and I'm going to stamp. Now, what you want to do when you're using a punch is kind of look at the punch to see where you need to stamp in order for it to punch out. Okay, so I'm going to punch it along this left side here, and I'm going to punch it upside down and kind of at an angle so that I can punch that out. Okay, and then with a darker color, I think I'll use this soft suede here, and I'm going to make a pattern on here. Make sure I turn the stamp, this stamp also upside down, so I can get that waffle cone design or sugar cone design on the ice cream. There we go. Isn't that cute? I love that. Okay, so now I can go ahead and punch this out. So there is our little cone, and we have our ice cream here. So you could also, there is an ice cream topper, so you could also stamp that if you wanted to. And another idea is to take your Stampin' Write markers, the watercolor markers, and you could just color parts of it with two different colors and then just huff on it and stamp. And you could make it multicolored. So there's another idea for you. All right, so now before I make the mistake that I made the last time, I'm going to take my inside panel here. You see, this is going to go on the inside like that, and I'm going to have a strip. I've already cut another strip of paper here, and I'm going to glue this on the side. So I'm just going to pull out one of my silicone mats here, and I'm going to use my tape. And then let's butt this right up against the edge. Like so. So this is what you're going to do. This is going to be glued to the back of the inside panel, and then you're going to glue this down into your card. That's the mistake I made last time. I glued this down first. So you want to make sure you do your flap, and you can do that now, and then we're going to figure out where to actually create this point. Okay, so I'm going to center that pretty well because the punch is centered. But let's, oops, we're not working on that card, we're working on this card. So let's just figure it out in here. I'm just going to place it in here. like so. See if I can do this just to show you what I'm doing. Okay, and then this is coming up. This will close and this will fit in the hole. So you just want to make sure that it will go in. Yes, I can see my 2 points here. So that is in a perfect position. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this over and I'm going to get a little bit of Tombow and just put a bit of Tombow in here. And fold that over and hold that for a few seconds to make sure it glues down really well. And I've just noticed I have a tiny overhang of DSP here. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a trim. There we go. Okay, and now you can put this inside your card. Okay. Actually, I think I'll use Tombow glue just in case I have to move it around a little bit more to center that belt piece. I think I'm running out of glue. It really is amazing how many times you can shake the bottle and still get glue coming out. You think it's finished, but okay, so with luck, this will center up the way we did it before. Like so. And now we can give it a close, and you're going to bend that and go inside like that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, you don't have to create the point. You can leave it just the way it is if you want. You don't have to create the point at all. I mean, it works perfectly well. So as a matter of fact, I'll just leave it because once it's closed, you don't see it. Okay. Now, for this piece here, I thought I would still, I'm not sure how I'm designing this yet. So I've cut this piece to fit. This measurement will also be in the directions for you. So I was thinking of, let me build my ice cream here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top of the cone. Come on. Come on, don't leave me right in the middle of my video. Oh well. I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing that a lot. I'll just put a little bit of tape on here. The silicone mat is a great tool. I highly recommend it as one of your basic tools because as you just saw now, sometimes the tape is it doesn't work, and so if you run it on your silicone mat, then it starts it up again. Okay, now this ice cream cone, I'm going to mount that probably on a dimensional. So let's see what we want to do. So I want to say Mom. Now I'm going to bring out, not quite sure how I'm going to do this yet. Let's bring out that greeting. So this is an adorable little Party Puffins stamp set that will become available May the 4th. Aren't they just the cutest? It's the best little birthday card for adults and children alike. Just so adorable. I already have a friend of mine, well, my good friend and her husband, they traveled and they saw puffins, and so that's going to be his birthday card this year is the puffins. His birthday's coming up in May. But I wanted to use, oh, you're the best. Mom, you're the best. That's what I wanted to use in here. So let me pull out, I've already put my labels on here. Okay, so I wanted to say, Mom, you're the best. I could almost be making this card for my daughter to give it to me for Mother's Day. She's not into card making, unfortunately, but she does like to use mine. So if I could do Mom, you're the best. Now, I could put the mom sitting on here. It's a nice color, bright color to show. So we could do this. Or we could put the mom on the inside. So the front could say, you're the best mom. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that now that I think about that. You're the best mom. Okay, now there is a cute stamp in here. There's a stamp that has these cute little, I don't know, sprinkles. There's two kinds of sprinkles. There's the candy sprinkles, which they're elongated. I'll just stamp this out so you can see it. These are elongated sprinkles, and these are kind of like little circles. And they make great backgrounds. So what I want to do on here is I'm going to bring down my Calypso Coral ink. I just want to add a bit more dimension to my ice cream cone. So I'm going to stamp these little sprinkles right on the ice cream cone. See how cool that is? Can you see that? Okay. And then I could do, I'm going to pull in another color, maybe the green again, the old olive. Or I could pull in, maybe I'll pull in, yeah, I'm going to pull in some purple. Let's pull in this Highland Heather, just add a bit more color. And I'm going to get the sprinkles. This is the sprinkle one here. So I need another block. And I'm just going to put some random sprinkles on this piece. Now I've stamped ink on my silicone mat, which I usually don't want to do because that ink will transfer. So that's why I have more than one silicone mat. I'll have to wash that one up later. Okay, so I thought it would be cool to add some sprinkles. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto here. Come on, Tom, it'll work for me. That's my husband stomping around upstairs. He's getting ready to go mountain biking. Our bedroom is right above my craft room. Okay, let's put that into position. Okay, then the ice cream cone, let's see. I want to put that on there. And I'm going to do You're the Best. And, you know, I should have stamped it. You know, I can stamp it right on here. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to stamp this in, I'll do that in the Bermuda Bay to match the mom, which is going to go on the inside. So I often like to do a greeting and have some sprinkles in the background. Now I better take this out of here and stamp this right on here. There we go. You're the best. And inside it'll say Mom. So this will fold over like this. Okay, the ice cream, I'm going to pull out some dimensionals and give this some height. There we go. So let's put the ice cream on like that. You're the best. And then inside, we're going to say mom. And I have to bring in my other silicone mat here. Now I say this every time, but when you die cut, there's definitely a right and a wrong side. The wrong side, the edges are a little rough. So make sure you put the glue on the rough side. And I'm going to pull down my tweezers here. And I'm going to pull out, just going to put a tiny bit of glue. Just get the glue going, and then okay. So let's see. You're the best. I'll try and center it. Maybe I should have done the O first. Let's center that O. And we'll put this one on the right side. Can't go wrong with spelling this word, can you? It's a pretty simple one. Let's turn this around this way. Yes, I love these little letters. Aren't they cute? That's not quite centered, but it's good. Excuse me, good enough. And I'm going to bring in some more sprinkles. Let's put a few sprinkles up here. And we'll put a few sprinkles right here. Okay, and that leaves you lots of room to write your sentiment. And there's your card. Now, if you wanted to make the point, what you could do is you could just cut, find your center point. This is 2 inches wide, so it's 1 inch, and then just cut on a diagonal. You can go up an inch and up an inch. So put a tick mark like, you know, here, and then a tick mark in the center, and then just cut your arrow. Okay, I'll show you. We'll do it together. Let me just grab my pencil. So the key thing is to get them even. So I'm going to use my grid sheet. Now this grid sheet is available for customers as well as demonstrators. Okay, so I'll put that there, and then this is 1 inch. Mark right there. Okay, and you could just use your scissors, your paper snips. Okay, and you're going to snip. Now I would rather actually use my larger scissors, because then I can get the blade touching each of those tick marks. Okay, so there's one, and luckily that just cleared the tip of my ice cream cone. You might want to do this before you put on your embellishment. Okay, and then I'm going to position that right on my blade and then cut. Okay, there's my arrow. Pretty simple to do. And then I will just grab my eraser and just erase my little pencil marks here. Okay. And then you can tuck that in. It's a little bit easier to tuck in with the arrow. And there's your card. There you go. Oh, one more thing. Wink of Stella. Got to have a bit of frosty looking ice cream. I'll just put a bit of Wink of Stella on here, just to make it look like it's nice and cold on a hot summer's day. There you go, my friends. There is a buckle card. And it worked out a lot better with putting it underneath the inside panel. So I hope you enjoyed that card. Down below there's a link to the blog post so that you can, there'll be some photos there, and as well as all of the scoring and cutting measurements so that you can go ahead and make one. So I hope you'll give this paper a try. Get it before it's all gone, before the catalog ends. I'm actually thinking about getting myself another pack. I just love it. Okay, thank you once again. Bye for now, everybody.